want to look at a few Fiskars axes today and talk about the company as well as some Stihl products. I have 3 Fiskars here and 1 Gerber branded Fiskars. Now Fiskars, made in Finland, builds for Hooyman, and they build for Gerber, or they did build for Gerber. This is a Gerber 28-inch chopping axe or felling axe. You notice the narrow profile, which is exactly the same as my 28-inch felling axe. So it's the same axe. Gerber also built these for Stihl, and we'll look at some of those here in just a minute. We'll compare some profiles. I recently bought this for myself. This is the 36-inch 4-pound splitting axe. It has a 36-inch handle, but it's a splitting profile. We're going to look at those profiles. And it used to be called the X27. What I'm seeing now, it's not listed as that anymore. It's just a splitting axe. And there's a difference between an axe and a maul. And think about nomenclature, or the words used to describe these tools. So we've got splitting axes, and we have felling axes or chopping axes, and that's kind of what we're looking at today. I personally wouldn't classify these as mauls. 4 pounds is kind of light for a maul, in my opinion. This is the X25 right here, and 28-inch handle. And those of you already know this that have these, but you notice the profiles of the thickness. You notice this one is broad and this is slim, and this is the chopping axe. You also notice that this wears the Killinger sticker on it for those particular videos that continue to run it. But anyway, we see that these are same length handles, but there is a difference. This is the chopping felling axe here, and this is the splitting axe here. We notice those profiles, thicknesses. This is the same as this, but it's got a shorter handle. I have never used this up until I bought this right here, and I've just used it a very little bit, and it comforted me. Watching Bluegrass Outdoors, Mr. Killinger, Kevin's Disobedience, Indiana Doug, and others using the X25 and X27, it appeared that the tool was either awesome or that the users were awesome, and I would say yes to all of those. However, if your wood is as hard as Billy Goat horns, that doesn't change the fact. Twisted, gnarly, nasty wood doesn't change the fact. So continuing to look at these and talk about these, and having used these very limited, I found that not much has changed. You still have to split the wood. It's not a miracle tool by any means, but they do work, and they work well, and you'll be seeing some footage of these as the time progresses, and if I'm allowed to do that, we'll see that coming up. So also want to look at this area on the handle compared to the old X25. No longer had that orange overlay, if that's an overlay, even if it's a change in texture. No longer have that. This is more of a it's raised, similar to polymer checkering on a gun, if you will, if I can get by with saying that word. But there's that. I wanted to talk to you Hooyman products. Fiskars makes Hooyman products, and they also built these for Stihl in 2001 and 2003. Let's see, this one here is 2003, and we see the Fiskars products, both splitting and felling or falling axes, and this is 2001. So those may show up at flea markets or yard sales, etc. They do not offer those at this time, so I found that very interesting. So Fiskars makes Gerber, Hooyman, and Stihl axes. They're Fiskars axes, but they carry those brands on them. And now it seems that Arts and Koff seems to be building Stihl's axes right now, what I'm seeing. And I have one of those units right here. Starting to file on it just a little bit. And this is referred to as the Universal Forestry Axe. And for those of you that are wood choppers, axemen, fallers, and buckers, this thing is dull. And I've tried to split with it a little bit. It's very dull. I mean, dull, 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 dull. However, we're working on that, doing some file work on it. Some of you be glad to hear that, I suppose. But we're doing some file work, and we may thin the handle out and do some chopping. But that's Arts and Koff. It's a 1250A. It has a 28-inch hickory handle. Made in Germany is all over it. So lots of warning stickers. Here's the barcode Universal Forestry Axe, made by Arts and Koff for Stihl. Alright, so that's kind of an overview of what's coming up. We'll be seeing some of the 36-inch Fiskars splitting axe in action, and we'll be seeing some of this Arts and Koff doing some chopping, maybe some felling, maybe some bucking. I've got a couple, 2 or 3 big trees spotted, and I'm going to do some work with it. Thank you everybody for watching, and whatsoever your hands find to do it with all your might.